After round 18, the verdict is in. G'day everyone, Matt Thompson alongside Match Review Panel Chairman Mark Fraser. Well, there is a lot to get through, and we begin with James Podsiadly from Geelong. He's been sidelined for a week for striking St Kilda's Jack Steven. Negligent, low impact and high contact is how this has been assessed. Now, his carryover points from last week mean he does get a ban.
Yeah, in this instance you see Podsiadly being tackled and then Steven comes in to tackle him as well. Podsiadly throws the arm out to try and fend him off, but strikes him high, so we believe that that's a strike.
Now, often with striking charges you do see a higher category, but you've judged this as negligent.
Yeah, we believe it's negligent because he's trying to fend him off, so he breaches his duty of care when trying to fend somebody off, not to strike somebody, and he has, unfortunately in this situation, struck him.
And the other point to make is that it's the carryover points that have cost James Podsiadly here. If he had a clean record, he could have escaped with a reprimand.
Absolutely. Normally that would be 80 points, so he'd get a reprimand for something like that, but because of last week, he has to take a week.
All right, now a tripping incident involving Luke Hodge, a reprimand for him for this tripping Paddy Ryder, reckless low impact and body contact.
Yeah, here you see Ryder get the ball and then attempts to evade Hodge. Hodge sticks his leg out and swings it through and obviously causes Ryder to trip up. So we believe that that's a reckless trip. He should know that by sticking the leg out like that, that if he makes contact, it's going to be a tripping offence. So we've charged him as such.
That one pretty clear cut, not too much debate at the Match Review Panel table?
No, not too much with that one.
All right, a reprimand for Essendon's Jake Melksham to tell you about as well. He can escape with a reprimand, as I say, for rough conduct against Jared Roughead. It's been judged negligent, low impact and high contact. He would risk a one-match ban if he went to the tribunal and lost.
Yeah, with this one, obviously Roughead comes in to try and shepherd for his teammate. Carlisle tries to avoid the collision and jumps up to get out of the way, but makes the high contact. Rough conduct is anything which is deemed to be unnecessary or unreasonable, and we believe that that's both unnecessary and unreasonable. By jumping up like that, he's made the high contact to him, and so is charged with rough conduct.
Now, could you argue that Melksham here was trying to protect himself?
You certainly could, but he still has to. There's a duty of care of all players not to make that forceful high contact. So he has, by jumping up like that. We believe it's negligent, not reckless, as often other jumps into the air are for a bumping contest. We believe it's negligent in nature, but obviously needs to be charged.
Yeah, it's that moment that he leaves the ground that it becomes an offence. Is that the case?
Not so much the moment that he leaves the ground, but he has a duty of care not to make that forceful high contact when colliding with a player. So he unfortunately hasn't done that.
Yeah, and leaving the ground is what caused him in this case to make the high contact?
Yes.
Yeah. OK, now also from that game on Friday night, this was a busy one, wasn't it? Jake Carlisle has been charged with striking Lance Franklin. Now he can escape with a reprimand with an early plea. It's been judged intentional low impact and body contact.
Yeah, here you see Carlisle throw the elbow into the back of Franklin, and we believe that that's a low-level strike. There's sufficient force there to cause Franklin to go to ground, and whilst the medical is clear, we think that is worthy of a charge.
Now, what about Franklin? Did he overplay it a little bit, perhaps?
By looking at that reaction, no, he's not expecting the contact, and he certainly goes down after the contact's occurred, so we don't think that he's played it up at all. And
the level of force, I guess, is the question that people are going to ask, but you believe there was just enough force to lay a charge?
Yeah, with that one, if he sort of doesn't go to ground, or if you can see the reaction from Franklin on the ground, we believe that there, from the video evidence, was enough force there for a charge.
OK, also worth mentioning, the panel handed out quite a few fines. Hawthorn's Max Bailey for umpire contact, Essendon's Nick Comer for abusive language, and also for a melee before the Fremantle-Adelaide game. Now, one more incident to look at with you, Mark. No charge laid here. Contact between Daniel Giansiracusa and Josh Kennedy from the Bulldogs-Eagles game. You're saying Gia had eyes for the ball?
Yes, they're both going for the footy there. Kennedy coming in at a quicker rate, and he sort of is moving down, taps the ball away there, and then Giansiracusa comes through and makes a high contact. We believe he's bracing for contact, and there's only about a fifth of a second between him with his eyes on the ball, going down to get it, and then tucking the arm in to brace for contact. So we believe he didn't have a realistic alternative way to contest the footy.
Was there a fair bit of debate about this one? Did it take some time to look at?
Oh yeah, you obviously take a lot of time, and with this one where there is the high contact and reasonable force, we do have to make a fairly tough decision. So we took a bit of time on that one, but we decided that with when you look at it in quick motion, that there's very little time between him looking at the football and then tucking the arm in.
And that's often one of the things that you hear criticism about, isn't it, from the public, is that, you know, these things are split-second things and you do slow them down, have the opportunity in the match review panel process to slow them down. But in this case, you have taken that into account, that it happened very quickly.
Oh, we take it into account with every situation,
yep.
and you obviously look at the time between the contact occurring and how much time a player had to make that decision to do that, and we think in this one there's not enough time.
All right, Mark, thank you very much for that. We really do appreciate your insight, as always.
No worries, mate.
Mark Fraser with us. So with an insight from the match review panel. Now, of course, if players want to challenge the findings, they've got until 11 a.m. Eastern Tuesday to do so. That is it from us for now. This is afl.com.au. Catch you soon.